But when we're talking about coterminal angles, those are the ones that have the same ending sign. Okay, there are lots of times. Every time you go around the circle once, now every single time you have an angle, you're going to have a coterminal angle. Okay, so if we start off with a 45-degree angle or something, just for demonstration purposes, your 45-degree angle might be right here. A positive 45. So this is the terminal side of that angle. But what if we were to go all the way around the circle one time and then another 45 degrees? Okay, you would end up looking at the same position. If you thought about like twisting around in a circle, you're turning. My little girl loves to do that. If she turned around just 45 degrees and then all the way around plus 45 degrees, that would be, what, 405 degrees? Because all the way around the circle is 360. So 360 plus 45 is hopefully 405 degrees. So this 45-degree angle and this 405-degree angle have the same terminal side. If I didn't tell you we went around the circle more than once, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between those two angles. They would look exactly the same. So if I were to give you a 500-degree angle, what would be the same one between 0 and 360? Okay, so how many times around the circle is 500 degrees? Let's see. We'll start here. Go around the circle, and that's 360, yes? Plus another 90. 360 plus 90, 450. So we need to go just 50 more degrees here to get to 500. So there is a 500-degree angle. Okay, we go around the circle once and almost 1.5 times until we get to here. So if we didn't go around one time, what would be the angle to measure right here? What about that angle? How many degrees is just that angle? What do you think? We know the whole thing was 500, and we went around once. So if I subtract these, maybe that might give me the answer. 500 minus 360 is 140 degrees. So a 500-degree angle and a 140-degree angle have the same terminal side. Okay, they both end in the same spot. Just one did an extra twist and is a little bit dizzier than the first one. What about 1300? How many times around the circle is 1300? Is it more than twice? Is it more than 3 times? Is it more than 4 times? Let's see. Here's 360. And another go around is 720. And another go around is 1080. Right? So once around is 360, of course. Twice around is 720. 3 times around is 1080. 4 times around is that plus 360. 1440. Okay, so 1440 is more than 1300, so we go around 3 times. So let's see, what is 1300 minus 1080? Okay, how many 360s have we gone? In this case, we've gone 3 360s plus a little bit. So let's see, 0 minus 0 is 0. 30 minus 8 is 22. So it must be a 220-degree angle. So there's another 180. 220 is down here somewhere. Nice little spiral. Okay, so a 1300 degree rotation is the same as a 220 degree rotation, but now you're a lot dizzier than you would be. You spun around 3 times. Okay, how about a negative 75 degree angle? Negative 75 means we're going down from the positive x-axis. We're rotating clockwise. Right about there, I would say, right? Because this is 90. So this is your negative 75 degree angle. So what is negative 75 as a positive angle? That's just 360 minus 75, which is 285 degrees. In our last example of a coterminal angle, negative 400 degrees. Let me erase all this other stuff. Negative 400 is the same as what? So we're going around this much. There's 90, 180, 270, 360. 360 and 40 degrees, right, is 400. Negative 400 is here. So if we turn that around and we go in the positive direction, bless you. Right, this is an extra 40 degrees here. So 360 minus 40 would be a 320 degree rotation. Not quite all the way around if you go in the positive direction. If it helps you to draw it, that's fantastic. If you can just do this in your brain, adding or subtracting from 360 as you will, that will be super. Okay, so those are coterminal angles, ones that have the same ending. So now we're going to talk about reference angles, because these are really the ones we use when we do our trig. Okay, so the reference angle is formed by the terminal side and the x-axis. Okay, so if I had a 70 degree angle, we start here on the positive x-axis, and we come up 70 degrees. So our angle is a first quadrant angle. Remember how your quadrants go. There's quadrant 1, and this is quadrant 2. Down here is quadrant 3. Oh, my thing's glitchy. Very glitchy. And this is quadrant 4. So when we have a first quadrant angle, the reference angle is the same as the given angle. So reference angle we call alpha. Alpha in this case is the same as the given angle because it's a first quadrant angle. It's formed by the terminal side and the x-axis. So this is also your reference angle. Okay, now anything past that, it gets a little bit strange. So here's our 160. Our 160 is over here. This is your theta, 160 degrees. So your reference angle is formed with the x-axis. So here is your x-axis. And this is your terminal side. So this is your reference angle now. So if I had a 160 given angle, that would make a reference angle of 20 degrees. It's how much is left to get to the x-axis. So this is a second quadrant one. And to get the second quadrant angle, we subtract the given angle from 180. To get whatever is left to get to, this is an alpha by the way, not a D. Make that more Greek. So here alpha was the same as theta in the first quadrant. Second quadrant, we subtracted from 180. Okay, so here's another one. 200 is going to be obviously a third quadrant angle that's greater than 180 but less than 270. Let's put it down here somewhere. 200 degrees as your theta. And the reference angle is still formed with the x-axis. So here is your x-axis. Here is your reference angle. Right there. Okay, so when we draw our triangles later, we're going to draw a triangle that looks like this. The reference angle is always formed next to the origin. Never formed, there's never a 90-degree angle at the origin. So this is your reference angle. In this case, we're going to add 180. Well, we're going to subtract 200 minus 180. Gives me a reference angle of 20 degrees. So here it's theta minus 180. Okay, to find the reference angle. Right, 200 minus 180 gives you how much past 180 we are. And then lastly, we have a fourth quadrant angle. 290 is 20 degrees past 270. So once again, you draw your x-axis, and your reference angle is formed here. There is your alpha, your reference angle. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the theta from 360. So alpha would be 70 degrees. Okay, and this is important because we're going to use trig with this measure. We always use trig with the x-axis and the angle that's formed. We never use trig with the y-axis. Okay, always the x-axis when we're doing this.